Hi, I'm Greg Burrell and behind the camera is Saskia Brown. We're here today to illustrate the value of streamside planting and providing shade to waterways. To illustrate the point, I've got a lux meter or a light meter in my hand. Where we're standing, this is an area that was planted with native species about 4 to 5 years ago, and you can see what we've got is a mixture of low stature sedges that are overhanging the waterway and providing lots of low shade, and then we've got some taller trees that aren't providing as much shade, but over time they will grow up and provide that shade. So standing here with my light meter, I'm getting about 22,000 lux. Doesn't really mean much, but when you compare it to what's happening down here under the vegetation, I've got about 500 lux. So the light is far reduced down here. That reduction in light means that it reduces the amount of light that's available for aquatic plants. Now these waterways are particularly prone to invasive aquatic plants like Canadian pondweed. That's a problem because they can choke up the waterways and reduce the conveyance capacity, resulting in flooding, and also it's no good for the aquatic species, the native species. It provides less habitat and chokes it up. So what we're going to do now is just perambulate to another section of waterway that's a bit wider and that was planted more recently, so it's not as well shaded. On our way over there, I just want to say that it's not just shade that these streamside or riparian plants provide. They provide habitat for species like birds and insects, and lizards also live in there. In addition, the overhanging vegetation provides habitat for the likes of aquatic insects, amphibians and fish. So this section of waterway here, as I said, was planted more recently. It's wider, and you might hear it's a bit windier as well, and that's because we don't have that buffering effect of the vegetation around it. So it's a harsher climate. When I have a look at my light meter, we've got the same reading here and down here as we had in the more open section of that other waterway. And because of that, we've got a lot of this nuisance aquatic plant I was talking about, Canadian pondweed. This is no good because, as I said, it chokes up the waterways, reducing habitat and adding extra costs for people who have to maintain the waterways. Anyway, that's our talk about the value of streamside planting for shade, and that's science from us.